You ever like fuck around and filming something, you go for a little scratch?
All the time. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes you have to get speed. Like,
That's
like
true.
I can't even.
That's true.
Yeah, like the follow line of Tony Hawk where I ollie over the channel with him, I had to do a back 5-0 on the wall on the vert ramp in order to even get enough speed to ollie over the channel.
Okay, wait.
You had to pump through that.
I mean, I had to drop in, do a back 5-0 while he was doing an air, and then the next wall frontside ollie.
Okay. Remind people, what was this for? What are we talking about?
It was a Thrasher magazine firing line.
Okay.
It was actually the first time I'd ever filmed Tony Hawk. So I was extremely nervous.
This is on his ramp.
On his ramp,
and we're talking about the channel that he flew off. He flew through.
Exactly.
And, remember that?
Yeah.
So you drop in. You drop in together. Both you and
He
Tony.
went down the rollin'.
Okay.
On the right side. So he's going faster than me. So we kind of timed it. We dropped in at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
He did like an air over me while I do a back 5-0. And then like he did an alley-oop indie air over the channel and I did a frontside ollie. And like, I mean, it took probably like 15 tries to do it. And I just told him I'm not bailing at all. Like when I'm committing to the ollie every time. So like, just look out for me if you're knee sliding. And there was definitely some close calls, but
Wow.
Was that the first time that he had dealt with something like that?
for sure.
I mean, who else is filming Tony?
not
Doing
like
a
that.
back 5-0.
Yeah, not like
Like,
that.
I mean,
now-
listen, he's ollieing over Andy Mack all the time. You know what I'm saying? But like, Andy Mack's not filming.
Yeah. So he's used because of all the doubles stuff his whole career. I think it wasn't abnormal to him to have someone following him.
Right.
But I think it's always at first it's definitely something in the back of your head. Like I hope he's not gonna fuck me up.
Can you imagine, like double guessing Tony Hawk?
Seriously.
Shit.
I was so nervous that I had Riley come and film a second angle because I grew up with his son Riley Hawk. So
Amazing.
I had filmed him and skated with him my whole life, but I was like, you got to come and film a long lens angle so that it's like not just me and your dad.
Yeah. Wow.
So he filmed the long lens angle. And
Now, when you're doing the back, I'm guessing you discussed this before with Tony.
Oh,
right? You're like,
yeah.
okay, this is what I'm going to do. Well, I got to get speed, so I'm going to do a back 5-0. What was his? Did he have a look on his face like, what? What are you talking about? You're going to do back 5-0?
that was actually funny because it was the first time I'd filmed with him. So a lot of his life is like pretty scheduled out.
Yeah.
And he asked me like the day before, how many walls do I need to hit?
Okay.
And I was like, whoa, I've never even thought about that because it's just always so in the moment.
Yeah.
Like you can't really premeditate those things. It's just like you get to there and it's whatever works.
100%.
And then usually I let the skater tell me what they want to do first. And then if for whatever reason I can't, like if that line doesn't work because maybe the skater's regular and I'm goofy or whatever reason, then I try to like break it down a little bit to be like, okay, well, what if you did this here? And then you could get to there and there that you want to get to. But like, then it makes it so that I could get there with speed or
got you.
not. But yeah, for the channel with Tony, I did not think I was going to have to do a back 5-0 first. But in that moment, it was just like, I thought I could just kick turn and pump it. But
Well, back
He was
5-0,
going-
are you like sitting on the back 5-0 kind of?
there's actually a photo of it that my friend Tim Aguilar shot that, it's like Foley me in a 5-0 and Tony doing like a twin.
You're filming.
Like,
Yeah,
you're
like,
filming.
I have like I'm doing a back 5-0, the camera pointing up, looking up at Tony, doing an air over me.
Why? Listen, I don't skate vert, but why not a 50-50? Why a 5-0?
I think back 5-0s on vert for me are easier because it's almost just like a kick turn. Like once you set your front truck down, it almost is like another motion you have to go through. Whereas a back 5-0 is like your back truck is just
It's locked
kick
in,
turning.
and you're just about to come
And you're
back
getting
in.
good momentum going back
Yeah.
in.
You get
True.
you could almost get an extra pump off the like drop in of the 5-0 rather than a 50-50. Honestly, I didn't even think about it. It was just what happened.
It was just what happened.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm
Okay.
just gonna do this.
I'm just thinking about Tony and you saying you're going to do a back 5-0 or him seeing you do it because he's probably not used to that. You know, like who's doing that?
I mean, he just trusts. The whole follow thing is such a trust thing. I mean, it's between me and the skater, we both have to trust each other 100%, you know, because there's definitely times where I get sketchy and there's definitely times when they get sketchy and they have to trust that I'll be able to maneuver myself around them if they slam and vice versa.
Yeah.
So like even when I film all the contests and the follow lines for X Games and Do Tour and stuff, I only do it with people that I filmed with outside of events.
Right, because we were talking
okay.
about that.
Yeah.
We were talking about that outside, and like some skaters don't even want you to follow them, and which is
No.
respectable, right?
For sure.
There's money on the line. There's a gold medal, like whatever.
Exactly.
There's a trophy.
And going back to the trust thing, if they've never filmed with me in outside of an event, the trust thing's not really there.
Right.
You know, I mean, I'm sure there's people that like see my stuff and are like, oh, he's that guy. But it's like when I'm right behind you, like really close, it's definitely a different story.
For
And
sure.
like you said, when there's money on the line and stuff, I don't want to be the reason someone doesn't make 50 grand because they were worried about where I was.
Could you imagine?
But yeah,
Being-
like,
yeah, you don't want that
No,
responsibility.
and be like, he's like, dude, he fucking was too close to me. I felt like,
Exactly.
No,
Yeah,
Well, dude, and
You never
usually-
know.
You usually have some huge backpack on too.
Yeah.
I have but the backpack kind of just holds the batteries and stuff so that what the camera in my hand is lighter. And then, I mean,
okay.
there's antennas on it, but those don't weigh much. It's more like the cords attached to the camera in the backpack like kind of get annoying, but for
and
the
the
most part, it's-
transmitter, it's transmitting the signal. to
exactly,
whatever,
so that I
yeah.
could just be wherever I want to be, and the camera's still live.
Yeah,
So
it's an interesting thing. I always see like the filmers at the X Games or SLS or something like that, and I think Chase Gabor does a good job because he really kind of just is like a follow cam, and then he kind of like turns off
He's-
and he just kind of like gets out of the way.
Yeah, funny. Me and him, like, I was the first person he ever filmed with when he moved to California.
Wow.
Seriously.
Oh, wow.
Like me and him, I made a homie video called "Be Here Now." That was a VX video with me and John Dixon and Figgy and Provost and a bunch of people when I was 17, and it was originally supposed to be me and Chase's video together.
Wow.
But then he got the barracks job like 8 months into living here, and then it was just like it was full-time barracks, you
like,
know.
wow.
But when I first started, like he was doing the follow stuff in the contest way before I even ever got an offer to do that. And like whenever I first got an offer, he was the first one I called to like
hey, dude.
ask like what to expect, and you know, because he's great at it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Because when you're out on the streets, right, it's like, okay, I'm going to back lip this rail or something.
Right.
You know where to go. You know where to be out of the way. In a contest atmosphere, sometimes it's spur of the moment. They have a trick in mind. Maybe they change their trick. You're standing front side at the rail, but they want to, it's like, then they
Yeah.
got to like tell you. So I can imagine it being a little nerve wracking.
For sure.
It's
a certain
definitely
degree.
stressful, but I think a lot of it, like me being kind of a skate nerd, helps because I know like all not all their tricks, but you know, I have a good idea of
Yeah,
like,
that's very helpful
what
for
people
sure.
do and like their go-tos, and like I mean, in a contest, you're not like, unless you're, you know, like some of those dudes, Louis, I shot. I mean, even Niger. Sometimes it's like they'll pull shit out of their ass that
You don't know. Right.
blown away.
Right.
But like I kind of have an idea, and I'll watch practice, and
Okay.
you know,
So you know what they're.
I mean, the last thing I want to do is fuck someone up.
Yeah.
So it's definitely, I'm pretty aware the whole time.
Sure.
I mean, no one's perfect. I've definitely like probably gotten in some people's ways, but I mean,
Yeah, it's
nothing
gonna-
that I'm like really bummed on myself for.
Right. They probably got fifth or something.
when you're filming the lines, usually in the contest, you usually start out filming like the first like 5 seconds of it, right? And then you kind of veer off. Because usually you don't. If someone's skating at the park, like you're not following them around the whole line, are you?
In the bowl, I follow him the whole run,
Really?
but that's because I can't get out.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like you don't. I was like, you
Like
must have to
I
time
mean,
it
I
weird.
can get out, but it's like I said, when I did a follow line with Zion at Do Tour, like
Yeah.
throughout his whole run, but it was like we had gone to that park before, and I'd filmed that line when the contest wasn't even happening. So he was able, whenever he was in first place, and that wasn't changing.
Oh,
So and it was his last run. So I went up to him like, hey, like you're gonna do that same line, like let me just film the whole thing. And he's like, yep, let's do it. You
and that
know?
was the one he won on.
Yeah.
Not the one he won on. It was
Okay.
the like
The one
qualification round before it.
So he was in first. Nothing that he would have done could have,
or
knocked
anyone
him
else
out.
would have done would have
Got you,
changed.
got
So
you.
in a scenario like that, like even if I did mess him up, nothing would have changed
Right.
standing wise.
They're
And
each
Mommy Tezuka, who's like a female, she rides for Blood Wizard also. She similar thing. She was in first going into the finals or whatever, nothing was going to change. And since I film her so much outside, it was like she trusted me just to follow the whole run, you know.
That's so
but it's
sick.
funny when that happens because I don't really tell the production that I'm doing it. It's just like I'm down there, like fuck it, let's do it, you know.
And so
like,
you're trying to like if you're down there, it's then on them to switch to you.
yeah, I mean,
you're
I
there.
try to wave my hand in front of the camera and I'm like, give them some signals, like
Okay.
cut
You want
to me,
this.
like
You want this shit right now.
But I mean, it's funny when I do that though, because I said it's not really too pre-planned. They always are like, do it every time, you know.
You can't do it every
and
time.
it goes back to the trust thing, and I have to be like a mediator between the skaters and the TV production, because it's like to them they're like, that's what's best for TV, that's what looks the best, like.
Right.
But it's like I'm a real skateboarder and I know what it's like to skate contests, and it's like I would never, like, if I didn't want that.
Somebody's dropping in behind you.
It's funny, actually. I just did a contest in Estonia, and I mean, whatever. The fact that he's on rollerblades was a little weird, but like, there was a rollerblader like follow filming in the contest.
Oh.
And he was killing it.
Okay.
Because it's like the mobility was insane, you know?
Yeah.
Well, they
And
can turn
there's-
on a dime, right?
And insane. Like, but like me being that's what I do, I had to go up and be like, hey, please, like, don't follow me in the run.
Oh, so you had a reverse role right there. You were skating the contest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
And he
okay.
was out there, and I just had to tell him, please don't get in there. Because it's like, I don't even know. That would just be too much. And it's like in my head, but of like worrying, like, this dude doesn't know where I'm going to go. You know?
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like it goes to the trust thing. I've never filmed this guy. I've never seen him.
Right.
And it's
And you're on the rollerblades.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
He's on rollerblades.
whatever. Fuck it. Like I said, he was
He was killing it though. straight
like,
up.
because he didn't have. There's no stance. It's just straightforward.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me. You know, it's
Yeah.
just like the mobility of it was crazy. But like I said, I didn't trust him, so like I wouldn't want someone to
sense.
do a contest and not if they didn't trust me. You know,
Totally.
like I respect when like Shane or Ishad comes up to me and are like, "Hey, I don't really know where I'm going.
Right.
Like, can you just not follow me?" And it's like, hell yeah,
Yeah.
like of course, you know.
Totally.
Like I want them to be comfortable, and if they're not comfortable with me following them, I'm not going to do it.
Totally. Right. Because you want them to do the best that they can.
Yeah,
do
because
and
ultimately
everything.
they're all my friends,
Yeah.
and like I want to see them do good. Like
Fuck yeah,
you know,
man.
Yeah.
Where is that like button? Right? Is it right here or right here?
Just a little scroll coming down the bottom.
It's
Subscribe.
over to it's on your
It's on my
left.
right? It's on
No,
my
on your
left.
left.
Hey,
Yeah.
hit that
there.
button right there.
Right there.
Right
Yeah,
there.
please.
The like button's kind of like in the middle there. It's like we're kind of.
Oh, it's like
there.
right here?
Kind of.
Like
yeah,
right
and
there?
The subscribe's like over to the left.
Like right over there. All right.